In the previous tutorial, we portrayed consciousness as a new dimension that, with practice and effort, can add on to my daily activities without necessarily changing them. We described the penetration into that new dimension as the beginning of real change, one that can end in developing a master. We set an aim to increase the frequency of our consciousness, and specifically, to be conscious each time we speak on the phone or text. And we change the ringtone and message tone of our phone as a reminder for that aim. But why did we need external reminders? Why could we not just remember to be when we speak on the phone? Because we want to be. The reason lies in our multiplicity, in our many eyes. In this tutorial, we will examine our psychological landscape as a multiplicity. We will examine a painting by Jan Bruegel as a visual representation of this multiplicity, and we will use that painting to understand how we can learn to keep aim despite the fact that we lack unity.
Each minute, each moment, man is saying or thinking, I. And each time his I is different. Just now it was a thought, now it is a desire, now a sensation, now another thought, and so on endlessly. Man is a plurality. Man's name is Legion.
Let us return to last week's example. I walk through the corridor of my office, I sit on my chair, I sip from my coffee, I answer the phone. These are 4 different I's. We call them I because each speaks as if it is representing the whole of me, my entirety, even though it is just a momentary impulse or thought. One I replaces another. I walk through the corridor is soon replaced by I sit on my chair, which is soon replaced by I sip from my coffee, which is replaced by I text on my phone. The problem is, if I had set an aim to be conscious when I speak on the phone before I stepped into the corridor, by the time my phone rings, 4 I's later, that aim has been erased. And this is why we need external reminders. So, if my phone rings and the new ringtone reminds me of my aim, then, despite the fact that my aim had already been erased, I will still remember to be conscious. We have to learn how to keep aim even though we are a multiplicity. And in fact, climbing the B pyramid is a movement from multiplicity towards unity.
Realizing the imperfection and weakness of ordinary language, the people who have possessed objective knowledge have tried to express the idea of unity in myths and in symbols.
In the foreground of this populated landscape, we see a fish market. Fishmongers are selling their catch to buyers in a bustling environment. The painter portrays the people in minute detail, as, for example, these 2 well-dressed ladies looking at us. They are aware that they are being watched. Further afield, the landscape dips as it nears the seashore, where we observe a colorful crowd. The crowd looks away from us towards the sea, located at the background of this composition. At first, it is unclear to us what is drawing the crowd's attention. Is something interesting happening at sea? Are they greeting a newly arrived boat? Or are they waiting to embark on a boat that will take them somewhere? Only a closer look reveals that their focus is drawn toward a haloed man who is speaking to them.
The background of Bruegel's painting reveals that this is not simply a landscape, but a scene from the Gospels of Jesus preaching to the multitudes.
The same day went Jesus out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore.
Now, it is very unusual for a painter to place the subject of his painting in the background. Why would Bruegel place the subject of his painting in a place so difficult for us to find? Unless he was trying to show how difficult it was to hear the voice of Jesus amidst the multitude. That is the same difficulty of hearing my aim, of remembering my aim amidst my many eyes. So let us examine this landscape from the point of view of the relationship of the multitude to Jesus. In the foreground are those people who are farthest away from him. Most of them don't even know that he is behind them, preaching to them. Those few in the foreground who do notice him are still too far to hear him. The group farther afield, gathered before him, is also varied. There are those who listen, and there are those who argue and contradict. As a rule, the nearer we come to him, the more his audience seems to follow his preaching. Finally, in the boat with him are his disciples who are closest in proximity.
A man decides to get up early, beginning from the following day. One eye or group of eyes decides this. But getting up is the business of another eye, who entirely disagrees with the decision, or may even know absolutely nothing about it.
Viewed in this way, that is, as a landscape of our many eyes, the preaching Jesus represents our aim, such as the decision to get up early the following morning. His disciples are those eyes that resonate with this aim and support it. Together, they create a small group of eyes. This small group is overpowered by the multitudes. Beyond them, still near Jesus, still near our aim, are more eyes listening. They know of our aim, but we have no way of discerning whether they agree with it or not, whether they will support it or not. Farther afield are even more eyes who have not heard our aim. They know nothing of it and cannot be expected to support it. Likewise, our desire to be conscious, to be, is only one of many eyes. So clearly, to become conscious, we have to strengthen that desire. We have to recruit more eyes around it that will step into the boat and support it. And that will be our aim for this week. To create more eyes around our desire to be. For this end, we will print out, or write down, these 4 short quotations. Return again and again to what is essential and worthy. Each step must be itself a goal. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And aim in the work is always connected with self-remembering. We will distribute these quotations in our daily surroundings. For example, one by our bedside, one at our bathroom mirror, one on our car dashboard, and one on our desk. These quotations will greet us throughout our day and remind us not to get carried away by our daily activities, to pay attention to what we're doing, to keep aim, to be. They will be our aim's supporters or disciples. Once again, we will change our ringtone and message tone and download the wallpaper of Bruegel's Multitudes as additional reminders.
The idea of center of gravity means that certain interests become more important than anything else. one acquires a permanent direction. One does not go one day in one direction and another day in another. One goes in one direction and one knows the direction.
Our desire to be conscious, to be, is only one of many eyes. So clearly, to become conscious, we have to strengthen that desire. We have to recruit more eyes around it that will step into the boat and support it. And that will be our aim for this week.